So the Daytona Road Course is on its way this weekend for week 2 of the 2021 NASCAR season. We've got Cup, Xfinity, and Trucks. Let's take a preview of the weekend. How's it going, guys? Marty here. Hope you are having a great day so far. So let's talk about the track specifically. First off, the Daytona Road Course. A lot of questions are coming in this weekend about the dirt and the mud, especially surrounding the bus stop on the Daytona Superstretch. It received a lot of criticism from drivers and media alike after dirt and mud were getting slinged onto the track as drivers were trying to straight line, leading to dust and mud obviously going on the track. 9 laps into the race of the Busch Clash last Tuesday, the yellow came out to clean the bus stop, and mud was still there in the final laps of the race as Martin Truex Jr. spun from the race lead, ending his evening. As a result, NASCAR and Daytona International Speedway, since last Sunday's Daytona 500, have been working on adding cement and turtles to prevent some mud on the track. Denny Hamlin, who has been at A1A all week, says they have put down cement first to anchor the large yellow turtles. The turtles can be removed for other series like IMSA and the Daytona Superbike 200 event. I spoke with AJ Allmendinger earlier today about the turtles and that they can cause serious damage if hit properly.
The turtles, I mean, they're there for a reason. I mean, it's going to definitely hurt the race car going across them, depending on the angle that you hit them at, the speed that you hit them at. But yeah, I mean, it definitely can do some damage to the car. So you got to look at it, like there's a wall there. Like, I mean, if you get in too deep and you make a mistake, you're going to pay the price, which, to me is the way it should be at times. You go in there and you make a mistake. I mean, there should be consequences to that. So I hope I'm not one of them that makes that mistake. But I mean, there's potential that if you do that, it can definitely damage the car or take you out of the race.
So you don't really want to be doing that at all. Now, I know a lot of you will be watching the Cup Series closely with Chase Elliott on pole and seeing how Michael McDowell will do in his first race since winning the 500. But I will actually be watching the Xfinity Series race closely. Yeah, usually I watch Cup and Trucks closely, but I'm going to be watching Xfinity closely as New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara has signed a sponsorship deal with Ryan Vargas this weekend to put the big squeezy on the car, which is Kamara's line of juice bars, in Louisiana. But it's not just that, no. Buffalo Bills running back Antonio Williams, who is an investor of Joe Graf Jr.'s racing career, has offered a challenge to Vargas and Kamara, where whichever driver loses, the losing team must make a donation to the winning team's charity. Williams stopped by RSN Trackside on Wednesday night to talk about the bet.
Yeah, I think it's huge, man, and I'm very excited that Alvin decided to do that because he's in New Orleans. That's a populous African-American community. And I think that'll draw attention to NASCAR from the African-American community. So I think that'll be beneficial for NASCAR. And I think it'll draw other people. Now, we haven't heard yet, but we do know that Ryan accepted the challenge. So once they come up with the honestly, I'm not worried about what charity they're going to say because we're not going to have to, Yeah, so.
Another storyline that deserves a talking point, Fox's ratings for the Daytona 500. Yes, the lowest since live flag-to-flag broadcast for the Great American Race. Now, the cause of that was obviously the near 6-hour rain delay, which obviously, we as fans or media members cannot control. Perhaps another cause of it was the big one on lap 14 that wiped out nearly half the field and a bunch of fan favorites like Bowman, Byron, Blaney, Almirola, DiBenedetto. But I should note that Fox was actually on track for a good day in terms of ratings, according to a source that I know at NASCAR. An executive vice president for Fox Sports, Michael Mulvihill, posted on Twitter that nearly 8.5 million viewers watched the 500 prior to the delay / big win, whatever you want to say. That's actually better than the 8.16 million that watched in 2019. So yes, stuff NASCAR cannot control. It should be worth noted. But what NASCAR can't control is the start time. I understand Fox and NASCAR promoted for weeks a 2:30 p.m. start time on the East Coast, but come on. We saw the weather coming. I was looking at the radar, and rain was coming at 3:30 or whenever it started to thunderstorm. I don't think we had rain at 1 p.m. Pretty sure it was blue skies. I would have rather seen NASCAR move up that start time a few hours in order to get the race in quickly, then wait, well, in my end, 14 hours for the checkered flag. Yeah, I was at the radio station from 10:45 a.m. board operating something else until midnight doing the Daytona 500. Oh, man, I want to forget that day. I'm kidding. I had a good broadcast. But anyway, we may not have been able to complete 200 laps if NASCAR moved the start time up, but more people would still be watching, and we would have known who the winner of the Daytona 500 would have been. And NASCAR fans do not like to wait, even those that live on the West Coast. However, though, I will give props to NASCAR for working nonstop on getting the track cleaned up and completing the race just past midnight. I thought this race was going to get postponed tomorrow to the next day, but yeah, I'm not really a fan of the 12:30 or so ending there. Now, the final thing I think we should talk about before we log off is, as I am recording this, today is the 20th anniversary of the death of Dale Earnhardt, killed in the final turn of the Daytona 500. Those that were born before 2001 as it happened, I know my dad does, as we were in front of the television watching the final laps. You've probably seen it even after 2001, as it's all over YouTube, and it's still scary. It still takes your breath away. Led to a huge safety change. I know a lot of stories have come out this week on the safety revolution following Dale's death. I don't want to really talk about the safety revolutions. I really want to talk about Dale Earnhardt as a person. Now, obviously, I've never met Dale Earnhardt, but I've heard a lot of stories about him, and you could tell that Dale Earnhardt was one of the more colorful personalities in the sport and one of the best drivers in NASCAR. You put a Mount Rushmore, and a lot of fans will put Dale Earnhardt Sr. on that Mount Rushmore. This week for press conferences, we didn't have a lot of drivers that had memories of Dale Earnhardt, but earlier today, Harrison Burton stopped by, and him being the son of Jeff Burton, I asked if there was a memory his father ever told him of Dale Earnhardt, and he provided this.
Later, towards, closer to when Dale passed away, my dad and my mom were thinking about getting this boat, right? My dad has always loved boats, and he was racing Cup, and he was in a spot where he felt like he could get a boat. My mom was nervous, right? And financially nervous to do it, whatever it may be, right? She was nervous to make a purchase like that, a boat, right? And they came from, little to nothing. They were in South Boston, Virginia, and kind of clawed their way through bad times. And once they got to the top, they're like, oh, we got to save our money. And so Dale Sr. came up to my mom and hugged my mom. And, I think she said it was within a few months of when he passed away, was telling her to go and live life and go get this boat, right? And so shortly after Dale passed away, they got this boat, and they made some memories on that thing before they sold it. So that's the only story that I've really, he tells me stories about Dale a lot, tells me stories about a lot of things a lot, just because I'm interested in it. But I think that's the most cool one, right? It was like, man, that's crazy that, obviously not, no one knew what would happen, but he was telling my parents to go and enjoy life and live life, and then, obviously the unthinkable happened, but they made a decision based off of that moment.
So that's my preview of the weekend. For my picks this weekend, I'm going to go with the same three drivers that won last year. Chase Elliott for Cup, Austin Cindric for Xfinity, and Sheldon Creed for Trucks. Enjoy the races this weekend. Should be fun in Daytona Beach, Florida. And if you enjoy the content, as always, leave a like. And if you have not yet, hit the subscribe button. I'm still trying to do some iRacing content for the week when I get a chance. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Marty. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Until then, peace out.